I want to welcome you to another episode of The Mighty Few. Man, look, today I want to talk to you about the time that I closed down a membership club that was making me over 4K a month, right? And had over 300 paying subscribers, 300 paying members, and I shut it all down. I remember painfully going in to my PayPal because I ran this membership club through PayPal, and I remember painfully canceling each reoccurring, all over 300 plus reoccurring subscriptions, canceling every one of them. I remember it pained me to do so, but at the same time, I was also excited to do so. That's what we're going to be talking about today, right here. I want to welcome you to another episode of The Mighty Few. This is episode 6, season 3. For those of you keeping score, hope you guys are doing amazing out there. So let's get into it right here on The Mighty Few. Okay, so how does the story go? Well, if we go back, probably, 10 plus years ago, I was running a membership club. This was probably 2013, 2014, 2015. Those 3 years, I was running a membership club called adventuresontheriver.com. Adventures on the River, right? And why did I call it Adventures on the River? I called it Adventures on the River because it was all about making money on Amazon, because that's exactly what I was doing. I was making money on Amazon, selling used books, right? And by the time I'd started that club, I was starting to branch out into selling other things on Amazon besides just used books. But still, used books was my bread and butter, right? And the membership club, it started out as an ebook that I sold on Amazon. And then I decided I was going to turn it into a membership club, right? Where I gave people 5 to 8 fresh, exclusive pieces of content every month. What are those pieces of content going to do? They're going to teach them how to make money on Amazon, right? And the foundation of that club was the ebook that I was selling on Amazon. I turned it into the full membership site. And so that was pretty cool. It's called Adventures on the River. And because, Amazon is not just a big website, it started out as a river, okay? One of the biggest rivers in the world, if not the biggest river in the world, the Amazon River. But I called it Adventures on the River because kind of a play on words, the Amazon River, the Amazon Marketplace. That's why I called it Adventures on the River. So I had this pretty successful membership club going on. Why did I feel the need to close it down, right? It was making pretty good money. I mean, there was really no reason to close it down as far as financially, concerned. I was making more money, running that membership club alone than I was making at my previous job that fired me back in 2010 is when they fired me. So by all standards, it was pretty successful. Why close it down? Why would I do that? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why I closed it down. So before I do, I want to remind you to get over to epicconversions.com. Okay. Sign up for my email list. When you sign up over epicconversions.com, I'm going to reveal 10 secrets to you via email. You're going to get one secret revealed a day. It's going to be all about the PLR licensing business. Now, you might think, well, PLR, man, who buys PLR anymore? I mean, doesn't everybody just get AI to write their stuff? And the answer is no, that's not true. People don't just get AI to write their stuff anymore. Sure, some people do get AI to write their stuff, but still a lot of people prefer the human written PLR. And when you get over to epicconversions.com, sign up for my email list. You're going to figure out 10 secrets. I'm going to give you one a day about PLR and the licensing business. So anyways, that being said, let's get back to Adventures on the River and why I closed this site down. All right. Well, at that time, it's very true that I was selling a lot of stuff on Amazon. Okay. And I was making good money selling on Amazon. And I was making good money running this membership club that taught other people how to sell on Amazon. Here's the problem. My heart, right? I was getting into the situation where I had no heart for this Amazon business anymore. I had been running a membership club, and truth be told, at this time, I had another membership club that I was running based on the same model that had this one working good. I had Adventures on the River, and I had another one called Blending for Your Health. which was running basically the same kind of model, 5 to 8 pieces of exclusive content a month, pushing traffic with a YouTube channel. I had 2 of them running and I was getting like pretty burned out. I was doing a lot of stuff. I had a lot of things. I had a lot of arms in the fire, a lot of things happening. I was doing affiliate marketing. I was selling ebooks on Amazon, KDP program. I was selling physical products on Amazon. I had a lot going on, you guys. I cannot stress enough. You know, I closed this membership club down at the end of 2015. Okay. And I'm telling you, between the times of 2013 and 2015, those 3 years, man, I was trying a lot of things. A lot of you newbies out there probably know what I'm talking about. You got a lot of arms and a lot of fires. You're trying a lot of stuff. You're trying to figure out what works the best for you. And that's exactly what I was doing, man. I had some things working, but I wanted more, man. I wanted more. But then I got to this place where I was making good money, but like, man, I felt like I had basically hired myself. I'd created my own nightmare job. I didn't have to go fill out an application and go work a nightmare job for someone else. I had literally gotten fired from one nightmare job and I created my own nightmare job to replace it. It was horrible. So what happened was I was like, yo, this whole thing with Amazon, okay, the first thing is YouTube canceled my YouTube channel. So now I started a new YouTube channel and started driving traffic to Adventures on the River, my membership club. But guess what? I never forgot that YouTube terminated my channel for no reason. I never forgot that. And the lack of control that I had when I got fired from my job and the lack of control that I had when YouTube canceled my YouTube channel, I never forgot that stuff. That lack of control, weighed on me. Okay. So this idea of a whole bunch of my money coming from selling books on Amazon, I was believing in that less and less. Okay. Do you understand? I was believing in it less and less because I felt like in my mind, at any time, Amazon could terminate my account anytime they wanted to, just for no reason. It could just be like a mere, it's a technicality or something, Or what if tomorrow I woke up and Amazon decided they didn't want to do third-party sellers anymore. They were just going to sell all their own stuff. Man, I would go from making a healthy 5 figures a year on Amazon to making 0 on Amazon in less than 24 hours. And that was a nightmare for me, okay? I had a family to support. Yes, I know business is about risk, but man, when you have a family to support, you understand risk, but you also understand trying to minimize your risk, okay? And that didn't feel like a good way to minimize my risk to me. So it was weighing on me heavily. And as I lost heart in Amazon, and as I kind of started feeling like I don't want to do business with Amazon so much, I want to kind of move in a different way where I have more control over my business. As I became that person, I started realizing my heart not only was it not in selling on Amazon anymore, but I really didn't want to teach other people how to sell on Amazon anymore. Right? Well, that's the whole premise of Adventures on the River. Adventures on the River was all about teaching people how to sell on Amazon. So now I have this membership club that's making $4,000+ a month, with over 300 members in it, all wanting me to teach them how to make money on Amazon. And man, I'm looking for an exit strategy on Amazon. I don't want to be on Amazon anymore. Now, a lot of people would be in a situation like that and they think, man, my hands are tied, dude. I'm not going to give up 4 G's a month. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I got to keep this going somehow, and of course there was a part of me that felt like that. No one wants to get rid of a good amount of money that they built single-handedly. I built all that from scratch, man. When I started Adventures on the River, man, I didn't even know how to create a sales page. I didn't know how to, I just, everything I built from nothing, right? And not knowing anything and taking it from not knowing anything to figuring it all out and taking it to over 300 members. It was all built from nothing, right? So of course I didn't want to cancel it. But the problem is I had no heart for Amazon anymore, right? That wasn't my vision. I didn't have enough control. It wasn't my business on Amazon. It was Amazon's business. I was just renting space, right? That's how I was feeling, right? And I think that when you're in business, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to. If you can't be honest with yourself, then what is the point? How is what you're doing going to succeed if you cannot be honest with yourself? Whatever it is, whether you like doing what you're doing, whether it's too hard, whether it's too much work, whether it's too complicated, if you can't be honest with yourself about it, I think that you are doomed to eventually fail. So, anyways, I had no heart. And the way I looked at it was, if I have no heart, then what is the point? There is no point. If I got no heart, then I got no point. Right. So that's how I felt about it. So no matter how much money, listen, guys, it could have been $40,000 a month. It could have been $400,000 a month. Either way, it was time for me to go. It was time for me to go. And now some of you guys might be in the same kind of situation, where you're doing something that's somewhat successful, maybe mildly successful, but you got no heart for it anymore. And I'm telling you, you got to be brave and you got to have some courage. But when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. And that's just the way it is. I could tell you so many stories about my life and not being brave enough to move on and not having the courage to move on. And it ended up biting me in the butt every single time. Every single time that my gut told me it was time to move on from something and I didn't listen, it always bit me in the butt every single time throughout my life. And I'm almost 50 years old. All right. So keep that in mind. So no heart, no point. That's the first thing. Okay. The second thing, what I've learned over my years being on the internet and trying to work for myself and being self-made is that the journey is the goal, right? I didn't start out knowing that the journey was the goal. That's something I can't tell you or teach you. That's something you're going to have to figure out for yourself. What it is you start out with a goal like, hey, I just wish I could make enough money with my business to pay my bills, right? That'd be great. It'd be like a supplemental income, and the money I make from my job, I can use that to pay my rent or to pay my mortgage. And I'll put the extra money in the bank, and then the money I make from my side business, my side hustle, like that'll pay my bills. I'm going to have extra money. It's going to be great. When you're seeing yourself start to accomplish that goal, right? You see it right there on the horizon. And then you move the goalpost, right? And it becomes, I just need enough money to pay for everything. So I don't have to have a job, right? So you move the goalpost, right? And the goal becomes something different, right? And pretty soon you're making enough money to pay everything that paid for when you had a job, right? And it's cool and you're fine. But by the time that happens, you've already moved the goalpost again. Now you need so much money in savings. Now it's about, I need money in savings, right? And like what I've learned is that the goalpost never stops moving, right? The goalpost will never stop moving. For some of us, we're never satisfied. The goalpost will never stop moving. You will always be chasing something, right? And that's what I learned, and I had to learn it the hard way, but you're always going to be chasing something, right? So the journey is the goal. And again, I can sit here and tell you that, and it's probably not going to mean a damn thing to you. You're not going to get it. You're only going to get it when you experience it for yourself. But the journey is the goal, and the journey is the goal for me. So if the journey is the goal, if you can accept that to be true, that the journey is the goal, then what that means is if I am on a nightmare-scape journey that I don't want to be on, like, for instance, teaching people how to sell on Amazon when I myself hate selling on Amazon now, that's not a journey I want to be on. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter how much money I'm making doing it. It doesn't make sense for me anymore. I don't believe in that journey anymore. So it doesn't make sense for me to believe. It doesn't make sense for me to do it when I don't believe in it. Okay. And that's just the way it is for me. Anyways. Okay. And then the third thing was this. Okay. The third thing was this. I wasn't running away from anything. And this is very important. You have to understand this. I wasn't running away from anything. I was running towards something. So you see, it's okay to decide that, look, I have no heart for this. And if I have no heart, there's no point. It's okay to feel that way. But you got to be running towards something. You can't just be running away from something. Now, me, I had something I did have heart in. I had a heart in digital products. I had a heart, even though I didn't like what I was teaching people with Amazon, I did like teaching people. I did like creating digital products. I did like doing YouTube. I did like doing some of these other things. So like I had heart for something. And what I needed to do is monetize what I had heart in. So at the end of 2015, I closed down Adventures on the River. I closed down Blending for Your Health. I closed down some of the other things I was doing. And at the very beginning in March like the third month of March of 2016, I opened epicconversions.com. And that's the website, the company that I still own to this day, epicconversions.com. I still run Epic Conversions to this day. Digital publishing, right? With a focus on marketing, with a focus on online business. And then I have another branch of Epic Conversions that deals with licensing, licensed content, PLR content, reseller rights content, stuff like that. So these are things I still have a heart for. I still love these ideas and these concepts of, teaching people things through special reports. Listen, I will never forget the first time I created a special report from scratch, okay? Just from nothing but my own mind and my own experiences. Put it all on paper, typed it on a document, packaged it up and sold it and made a couple $1,000. Like, that never gets old. It's never gotten old. I've never like gotten sick of making money just from creating something from scratch and selling it to people. That's never gotten old for me. So I still have heart in that. But I'll tell you something, whatever business I'm running, whatever membership club I happen to be doing, it doesn't matter how much money it's making. If I got no heart for it anymore, then I got no point, right? And I got to move on. And that's a hard decision to make. When I was in that PayPal account, canceling those reoccurrings one at a time, over 300 reoccurring subscriptions, one at a time, $14.97 a month, cancel. It's hard. It's hard, man. You got to have some courage. But man, you got to have a little faith in your vision, okay? And you got to remember, if you got no heart, you got no point, all right? So anyways, look, I think that's it. Story time over. I hope you guys are doing amazing out there. I hope this episode of The Mighty Few has been helpful to you. Be sure to get over to epicconversions.com. Get signed up for my email list. If you want to know more about the PLR licensing business, that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time. Peace now. Have a great day.